Hello, peoples of the internet. Today I'm outside because it's a nice warm day. We got Evie in the room, lots of plants. We got some nature behind me, some nice skies. I'm just coming back from my friend's house where there was a crazy incident that was happening where there were some teen kids out on the deck that were throwing eggs and tin cans, so cans of soup at drivers. And that's wild. And it just makes me think about our tantrum society. And it makes me think about how a lot of the parents nowadays have kids that are out of control. And to me, it's dynamical. It's parents who gave their power to the children, and now the children are taking the power and have no fear of anything or anyone. And fear isn't a necessity, but respect is. And these kids have no respect of anybody. And so much so that one of the cans had gone through one of the windows, and it was a mom driving the car, and it bashed in her front window and put soup all over her car, and it was all over the baby, and she had a baby in the back in a car seat, and it was all over the baby as well. And the police didn't really do anything. And that's what I notice about this town, Kelowna, and the police don't seem to do anything about these children that are out of control, which to me, it's a part of agenda of creating more and more chaos. And when we create enough chaos, then we will look to the external realm to stop the chaos. And we'll be more willing to comply to whatever it is that they offer us. So for me, I'm just always trying to find the peace inside of myself and collapse timelines and try to help the parents to learn to caretake their children in different ways that has nothing to do with control and all has to do with alignment and truth and love of their own selves first, and the ability to say no and hold the space of a no. And no one did that with those kids, so those kids are out of control. And they're going to have to find their own ways back to control. And this is a year of karma. So it's not going to be a good lesson in the end. So that's the first part that I'm going to touch base on here for what I notice in this world and what I can see around us. And in this time period, there seems to be a lot of out of control chaos happening. And all we can do is ground ourselves and alchemize and continue to face our own pathways and create new ways of existing in front of us, and try not to get pulled into the crazies, and try to continue to free ourselves from this old mode of functioning and this old way of existing. So another thing that I wanted to touch on today was something that I remembered, and it's something that to me is like super fantastic and awesome and beautiful. And so I was remembering about when I had originally connected to my heart, and when I had connected to my heart, that's what the God Source was telling me. That's the feminine. The body and the heart is the feminine. And so when I had connected to the heart and the body, that was the first piece of like slowing down and listening to my own self and alchemizing and loving myself into wholeness and giving myself compassion. And as I was doing those things, I could feel myself pulling deeper and deeper into the human and down into the heart center. And in the heart center is that's the seat of the soul. That's the 0 point. That's your connection between the God Source and yourself. And that's where you find truth, and that's where you find alignment. And as I did that work, I was grounding further and further into my body. And I could tell that the God Source was doing chakra work. It started at the top and it went down. And as I was doing red chakra work, that's when it told me like the root chakra, the red chakra is for rooting into the form realm. And when I rooted myself into the form realm or into nature, I rooted my body into the rest of nature. I remember that the God Source was telling me you're like a light bulb. And if your light bulb's not fully rooted in, it's kind of like flashing. You know how a light bulb that's not plugged in, so like flashes on and off, like a flash here, a flash there, it kind of flashes on and off. And that's sort of how nature sees your light bulb. It just sees this flashing on and off, and sometimes just no flashing at all, just a dim light because you're not connecting in. But when you fully connect your body in and you feel safe enough to, and you initiate yourself in fully connecting to the form realm, so pulling the soul fully into the body and then connecting the body to the form realm, knowing that nature is your friends, it's your family, it's your buddies, right? We're a part of nature, and a body needs to be connected into nature. And so when I was able to connect in, the God Source said, that's when your light bulb turned on. So when we connect our bodies into nature, all of a sudden nature sees this light bulb, and different people are going to have different colors. And say my color is a teal blue. So when my light bulb lights up, it's like, oh, you're a teal blue. I didn't know you were a teal blue. But now that I can see you're a teal blue, I'm going to magnify. So it's like a magnet. We're going to attract to us all of the other blue. And so what the God Source was telling me is that that's not just people, other blue situations, other blue opportunities, jobs, doorways, are going to open of the blue nature, because it's a magnification. And what was missing when we weren't connecting to our bodies and when we weren't connecting into nature was the magnetization. And the masculine is the electricity, the electrical part, and the feminine is the magnet. So the ability to magnetize to you. And we don't even have to do anything. Once we do that, we naturally begin to magnetize things of the same frequency to ourselves. And the God Source said, like, this is the beginning of magic and miracles, and beautiful things, beautiful people, beautiful tribes, beautiful opportunities, beautiful places to live. You're naturally going to magnetize to it. You're naturally going to be pulled to it, and it's going to be pulled to you. And you don't even have to do anything. So in the old way, a lot of people were trying to manifest, as in pull it to them, things that they wanted from the head. So they wanted the mansion, they wanted the car, they wanted these things. And that's creating from disconnect. And what's going to magnify to us is what's in best and highest well-being. It's what our same frequency is going to magnify to us. So it's what was always meant to be, is what's going to magnify to us in the natural way. So you don't even have to do the work of it. It does it naturally when you connect in to your body fully, and when the body connects into nature. And we're just at the beginning of this. So we don't even know the magic that's going to unfold in front of us when we're fully and completely connected into ourselves and connected into nature, and making choices from alignment, which is also what we're just beginning to do. And so I'm just so excited by that. To me, that's just so exciting. And it was something that I was thinking about the other day, that I was thinking, I don't think I shared this part yet, but I would love to share it, because I just think it's so magical and so hopeful and so evolutionary that we haven't done before. It's like this never happened before because we weren't in our true selves, and we weren't lighting up this light bulb with our color or our really, it's our electricity, right? Like, your electricity is flowing through you to magnetize to you things of similar frequency. And that's where magical things start to happen in these next couple of years. There's an airplane flying over, so if you're hearing some deep rumbling, it's an airplane. So, just going to check in and see if there's anything else I need to share. People have been asking me lately, how do you know that you're connecting to your truth? How do you know that you're aligning with your own truth? Like, a lot of people feel as if they don't know. And for me, it's obvious because I've been practicing this for so long. I know exactly when I'm in that space because it's familiar to me. I've practiced it so much that it's familiar. But I was talking to someone and we were talking about how when they had chosen their partner, so I was talking to them about the release, the information that's coming up to release collectively in this time period, which is my last video. And it's about how we chose from disconnect and how we mated with people from disconnect that were kind of forced relationships or settling, which connected damage to the ancestral lineage. And when we made the choices of being with the partners that weren't in good connection, we had gut feelings. We had gut feelings in the beginning that were like, this doesn't feel right. And a lot of people just think that's called cold feet. And possibly it's part of cold feet, but it's an internal feeling that felt like this doesn't feel right. Like something feels wrong here. And that's your gut. So I would have talked about in prior videos, the gut brain. And the gut brain is the feminine brain. It's a brain in the stomach. It's where we pull in frequencies from the external realm into our stomach. And our stomach, senses. It's a sensory brain. And it reads frequencies. And frequencies don't lie. Senses don't lie. It tells you exactly what frequency you're dealing with. And our gut, that's why you can have a bad feeling in your gut. Right? Because it's reading frequencies. It's telling you the truth. And we were trained not to listen to it. We were trained, because that's the feminine brain. Intuition is the feminine brain. And I was kind of holding that space to think, is it just intuition? And it isn't just intuition. It's an alignment with your center of self, which is in here, right? It's deep inside of you. You have to drop down into that space. And when you align into that space, intuition is one of the informations that you're pulling in. And you're also, brain information's coming down in there too, but it's the soul space. And you have to be at a state of peace or calm first. So you have to alchemize the distortion. So you have to alchemize the feeling states. You have to alchemize the thoughts that are coming from that broken self, the programmed self, and from the programmed ancestors of the past that told us to do things that were safe from the head. You have to alchemize those spaces first to be able to access your truth. How do you know you're down in your truth? Because your truth's going to speak to you. It's going to tell you stuff like, this isn't yours. This doesn't belong to you. And then it's going to tell you what to do next. And it's going to say, don't worry about it, or walk away, or set a boundary, or say no. Or in my friend's case today, call the police. Call the police and put out a file, get them to come down here. And they did come down there, but they didn't do anything. So, but there is a file. And this is what they say about the police. You leave enough files, eventually they have to do something. And so it's going to tell you what to do from your core. And why does my friend have to do that? Because it's going to make her feel better. It's going to make her feel in alignment with herself, because she's a righteous person who wants to do the right thing. She's got ethics and values. She's aligned and has connection to her ethics and values. And her ethics and values are telling her that she needs to do something about it. And so she called the police. And so she can feel good about herself. Whether or not the cops do anything, that's none of her business. That's not her stuff. That's the stuff outside of her. But that she did the right thing, she can be in alignment with that and know that she did the right thing and then let it go. And if she wanted to, from the space of letting go, she can do prayers. She can collapse timelines. Those are the things that we can do from a place of peace. And so, like, it's not our jobs to do other people's stuff. It's our job to let them get their own karma and get their own lessons. But it's our job to stay in alignment with ourselves. And that reminds me of another thing that someone was telling me the other day. And their mother was in the hospital. And they were talking to someone about their mother being in the hospital. And their mother wasn't a good person and wasn't good to them. And they've obviously shared those stories with the person they were talking to. And she was like, my mom's in the hospital, and she was sad. And the person was like, why do you care? Who cares? Stupid bitch. She deserves it. And she felt really hurt by that, because she thought, I hold space for you all the time, but you're not holding space for me. And it's not whether or not the mother deserves her care. It's that she was hurting because she's a compassionate, loving human being, and it hurt her. And so what she was asking for compassion for her pain, not for the mother. And so those are the ways that we have to begin to discern that, does her mother deserve her care? Possibly not, but she's still a loving, caring human, and she deserves her own care. And so that's the intriguing thing about human beings, right? Is that we're still going to be our true selves. Whether somebody deserved it or not, I'm still going to be a compassionate, loving human, because that's who I am. And so that's another piece of information that's coming up in this time period, that we have a right to our truth no matter what other people are doing around us. And so if you're a loving, compassionate person and you're affected by something, the key is to love yourself into wholeness first. Alchemize your own feelings first. Caretake your own self first. And from that point, you'll drop down into that truth space. The truth will be like, this isn't yours. It doesn't belong to you. And then from there, it'll say, what do you need to do? Right? What's in my best and the highest well-being to do? What should I do here? And you'll get a multitude of choices from your highest self. And that's the other part I think I talked about in another video, is that there isn't just one right way. There's multiple right ways of existing. And when we get to those true spaces, we're going to be given options. They're going to be like, well, you could do this, or you could do that, or you could do this. And really, at the end of the day, the choice is up to you. The choice is up to the human that you're inside of. What do you want to experience? What feels right for you? And I talked about this with the golden pathway. Our golden pathway was reminding me of a while ago. It said, it was reminding me of the Wizard of Oz. And it was saying the people that were walking on the golden pathway in the Wizard of Oz, it wasn't just one rock in a line that they had to balance on. There was 4 people dancing down that, golden pathway. How many rocks was it, Lisa? And I was like, I don't know, like maybe 30 rocks, right? And the gods said, exactly. There's 30 options, choices, opportunities, experiences that are all in the golden pathway. So there's many ways to be on the golden pathway. There isn't just one. So it's not about perfectionism. It's not about, my way is research. I got to find the right way. And the God source is saying it doesn't work like that. There isn't one right way. There's multiple right ways. And so calm down. Breathe. It's okay. It's all right. You're going to be okay. You're going to figure this out. There's multiple ways to figure this out. There's multiple experiences that you could take. And it's about finding the right one for you, or supporting yourself in the truth, in the choice, and then taking the step. And then from the step, does this still feel good? Do I still want to do this? And that's that idea of pivoting that it gave me a couple years ago. And it said, you can always pivot. You can always take the step back and then you step forward again, or you can go this way, or you can go that way. Which way do you want to go? After you make the choice, more options open up, and then you make another choice and more options open up. And I would have shared in my last video that the humans are meant to enjoy our choices, that we're free will beings. We're here to enjoy the pathway. We're here to enjoy our creations. We're here to enjoy our choices, because our choices help to create the world that we live in. As creator beings, my choices help me to create the world that I live in. And that's supposed to be exciting. That should be fun. That should be playful. And the humans are just remembering that. And that's actually another piece of information that's coming in at this time period, that I'm getting a big lesson on that in this time period. And the God source says you don't have to be in control of all things all the time. You don't have to be in control of the choices. And actually, if you make a choice from control, you're just creating more control, right? Versus if I make the choice from enjoyment, then I have playfulness, fun, then I'm a lot more likely to enjoy the thing. So when I made the choice of my couch, I was doing it from control, like, oh my God, oh my God. And then when I sat on the couch, I'm like, oh my God, I'm falling in between the two cushions. Like, that's not good. And oh my God, the dog hair is getting on the couch. It's like, I made a bad choice. I made a wrong choice. I'm already attacking myself and trying to control. And what I'm not doing is saying, wow, this is a really beautiful couch. Wow, it's really comfortable. I can enjoy this even though there's dog hair on it. I can enjoy it even though you slightly go in between the two cushions, right? Like, I can enjoy this too. This can be fun too. This can be playful too. And I know my children are trying to say that to me, like, Mom, I love the new couch. It's so awesome. It fits perfectly. It's such a cool color. It's so soft. They're trying to pull me into the playfulness. And I'm like, yes, but these things, like, I still can't enjoy it. Like, calm down, Lisa. Let go. Let go. It's not so serious. Can't you just have some fun? Yeah, I want to have fun. I want to be playful. I want to learn to look through those eyes. I want to learn to make choices from that space inside my heart. And I'm willing to clear everything so that I can find that space. And that's what I'm going to do today. So we're just going to clear the things that I spoke of today, and including this external agenda in our society that seems to really be ramping up chaos so that we look to the external to save us. And the reality is they aren't saving us. It's an agenda. We need to learn to clear the chaos from inside of us, clear the fear programs from inside of us, and collapse the programs from within, and to allow karma to take place this year, because I think this is also a year of truth and clarity. So truth's going to come out. And my friend said already, by the time the cops had already left, but the kids had come out of the building, and the building manager was grilling them pretty hard. And then he had to let them go because they're kids, and they're like, we have to leave. We have to go to the bus and stuff. So, but do they know that someone knows? Yeah, they do. And did everybody do the best they could? Most of them, most of the people did the best they could. So can they just clear it and do prayers that these kids get the answers directly into them, that their hearts begin to get truth, that the God source accesses them and, gets them on the right track, that they see, they get their lessons in their own way, and forgiving. Remember, it's forgiving over to God. God, this is yours. You tend to it. And I ask that you tend to it and clear my soul of anything that isn't mine. And so, Source God Mother, I acknowledge and accept that we're in very interesting times as human beings, that we're in times of radical shift and change. We're in times of information coming in that's never come in before. And we're in times of people losing control like they've never lost control before. And partially it's about breaking the old programs, and partially it's about not controlling what pathway people go on and allowing them to choose their own pathways, and knowing that if they choose, dangerous pathways, they're going to pay their own prices in the end, and that all we can continue to do is love ourselves into wholeness and continue to create new modes of functioning and new ways of existing. For me, like, I can just see like community policing, coming back, where other people give shit to the kids that the parents won't give shit to, and say, like, it's inappropriate, stop it, and that we're able to stand in our power and say no, and that we're able to hold the space of, inappropriateness, knowing that we have a right to say no and stand on our truth, and we have a right to continue to enjoy our existences and stay regulated no matter what occurs, and collapse timelines and do all of the magical stuff that's coming into our abilities in this time period. Recognizing that, like Lisa is talking about, that when we connect into our heart centers and into our bodies, we begin to open up that heart, the sacred feminine, which is the part of us that slows down and loves ourselves into wholeness, so that we can access our truth, so that we can access creativity. And that when we do that, we begin to be able to pull our souls fully into the human being, because it's safe to do so. And we begin to connect our bodies into the form realm, into nature, and we begin to access the healing codes of nature, the plants, the animals, the air, the earth, water, the mineral kingdom, and share life force frequency, knowledge, wisdom codes, and we begin to light up our light bulbs so that nature can see, and we begin to attract, we begin to magnetize, which is the feminine way. We begin to magnetize new opportunities. We begin to magnetize people and creative options and places. People, places, and things is what the God Source said to me. And that sounds awesome. Like, some people were saying to me, like, oh, that scares me, because, like, what am I going to magnetize? Am I going to magnetize scary things? And I'm like, well, not if you're a good human. You know, you're going to magnetize amazing things. And, like, I'm not afraid of that at all. Like, I'm excited about what I'm going to magnetize. And so we want to get to the point where you're excited about what you're going to magnetize. If you're scared what you're magnetizing, you need to do some work on yourself. And then we just clear, cleanse, neutralize, harmonize, and alchemize those old mindsets, those old modes of functioning, those old ways of existing. And in this time period, we're really clearing control, you know, trying to control the external realm, which pulls you into the distortion, instead of bringing yourself into safety and make choices from your truth and supporting yourself in the choices from your truth, which are in alignment with all. And recognizing that when we get in that process, we begin to live a different kind of life that we haven't done yet. It's brand new for humans. So we don't know how beautiful this can be, but we know how important it is. Because in that last clearing, I talked about how when we make choices from disconnect, we just continue the slavery matrix, and we cause damages to ourselves and to our lineages just by the poor choices that we're making, or the unaligned choices, or by settling and stagnating. So we know how important it is to act from the truth. And God's saying that when we make a choice from control, we're just going to create more control, and we're going to create more, like, stress. It's like the stress program. We're going to create more stress and more worry, and we're going to be hyper focusing on, is this right? Is this wrong? Perfectionism, instead of on enjoyment and just enjoying the fact that I have a choice, and that I can make a choice, and that now I have a new couch, and I can enjoy this new couch, like explore it, like have fun. You know, we have to learn to be more playful and have more fun. And honestly, throwing cans at cars isn't fun. Throwing eggs is something we've done all through time, but throwing it at cars, that's a big machine that can cause accidents and danger. You know, if you want to throw an egg, you know, you don't throw it at a moving vehicle. Like, we have to start being wise about our choices. And there are fun things that we can do, but that's not fun. That's unaligned fun. That's demon fun, you know. That's the original God, like pain space of God fun, you know. True fun is like watching water on a flower and how beautiful it is, and seeing the reflection, blowing bubbles, you know, enjoying the fuzzy nature of my couch, petting a dog, you know, laughing with friends, you know. But laughing from gut laughing because something's actually funny, not because somebody's being harmed. That's sickness. And we need to collapse those ideas like, oh, just let kids be kids. That's not just being kids. That's sickness, friend. You know, kids being kids is not doing those kinds of things. There's a lot of things we can do that actually is playful fun. Go dance to music. You know what I mean? Like create art, you know? Laugh with your friends because it's belly laughs, because you're being silly, you know? Not because you're doing damage. That's sickness. That's toxic disconnect sickness. And we need to cleanse it from ourselves. And God, please forgive me for all the times I did that shit, you know, and cleanse all the children, you know, so that we can get into alignment and we can all begin to benefit as we move forward, taking action from the soul spaces, not from the darkness, not from the snake, not from the shadow, you know, and we clear all of that now. And we recognize that when we clear this, the new answers will begin to come, the new modes of functioning, the new ways of existing, where we all have fun together, real fun, playful innocence, you know. God, please help us with this. We need help with this. Our society's out of fucking control. And it's not my job to fix it. It's each of our jobs to clear ourselves, and it'll begin to collapse those programs from our mind, body, spirits, and souls. And we ask for help in this. And we neutralize, harmonize, and alchemize all of that now through all quantum fields, past the DNA and RNA, and into the God space of first creation. We release all drama, karma, trauma, pull out the Dharma, neutralize, purify, clear, cleanse, and heal from the cellular, energetic, and magnetic structures, and from the subconscious, unconscious, and conscious minds, pulling all of that through to one. So wholeness, to peace, to truth, to love. Welcoming those helper frequencies and those helper beings into these spaces to continue to help to neutralize, harmonize, and alchemize these spaces, and to continue to help us to expand out into these spaces so we can continue to grow and evolve and access these truths as we move forward in those good ways. We release through the children and up through the ancestral webs, past lifetimes in their webs, and for the collective universal who are open to it at this time, including all planetary systems and on all sides of the veil. Clearing all fear programs, modes of functioning, ways of existing. Clearing toxic voices, the small self that was telling us this bullshit, lies, illusions, and delusions. Clearing all... low frequencies that were burying the brightness of our light, clearing all fears of connecting to the form realm, because that was one of the things that was preventing us from connecting, is a lot of fear programming. Like they told us that like nature's dangerous and, you know, we need to dominate it, and a bunch of lies and bullshit that we're clearing in this time period, remembering the truth. Like those are our friends, those are our family. You know, you're nature, you are nature, you're an ecosystem. Right? And remembering those truths so that we can clear those old modes of functioning and those old ways of existing. Through the children, up through the ancestral webs. I might have already done this, but this is how I find my way back. Up through the ancestral webs, past lifetimes in their webs, and for the collective universal who are open to it at this time, including all planetary systems and on all sides of the veil. Also clearing those programs and those fear programs from listening to our intuition. The things that they told us, like, oh, that's stupid, you don't listen to that. Yeah, okay, yes, I do. That's the truth center. You know, that's how I read truth. And really, we're all frequent beings. Like, we're all made of frequency, right? This is how I get in connection and get into alignment and get into truth. So yes, I will be listening to that and be guiding my choices based off that information, including my soul. And my brain can add to that as well. My emotions will add to it as well. But also... no, I'm not listening to those things anymore. I'm going to listen to the soul. The soul alignment is going to tell me the right direction, and I'm going to take it. And please forgive the humans, quantum forgive the humans, for we know not what we do. Forgive us for all of the old that where we were listening to disconnection, where we were pulled into the distortion, where we were programmable and listening to the programs. We collapse all of that now. We clear it, and clear it some more, and we purify back to the God source origins, welcoming those collective healed helpers, those beings of light, those doctors, healers, and nurses in all realms of existence to continue to purify and alchemize these spaces and drop us into those original blueprints, those original codes, and to continue these healings until completed. I welcome those healed helpers, those beings of light, those doctors, healers, and nurses, those beings of light, those angels, ancestors, and elementals to continue to be with us, help us, guide us, love us as we make these changes. And thank you for holding the loving space for us, for guiding us, for helping us to remember and remember, which means putting your body parts back together, right? It means we're coming back into wholeness. We're bringing back the truth, and we're clearing what was the old. We're clearing the separation. If we have to remember, it means that our membering has been cut apart. So our parts of self, and we're pulling them back together with the glue of love, with the glue of truth, with the glue of alignment, right? The sacred feminine, which is compassion, but also truth. She stands in her power. She says no. Right? So thank you for reminding us and helping us to remember the truth. Thank you. We clear, cleanse, and heal all of that now through all quantum fields, and we're opening to receive for best and highest well-being. With love and gratitude, we choose this. And just breathe. And Source God Mother, please immediately evolute our systems for best and highest well-being of the systems within us and the systems around us, including those frequencies of our feet. Immediately upgrading those frequencies of our feet. And as you do this for us, do it for all of the beings around us in our heart space. Allow them to immediately evolute themselves. Please root us from our root chakra down into the Earth star, 2 feet below our feet. The universal star, please root us fully in, light us up so that we can be seen, so that we can share life force frequency, knowledge, wisdom, healing codes, so that the form realm, so that nature can see us and begin to magnetize like frequency to us, so that we can begin to have these magical experiences that are going to begin to unfold in front of us. These are those sort of miracle frequencies that are naturally going to align with our frequencies because of all of the work and love and care that we've already done. So yeah, heck yeah, we want that. And we clear, cleanse, and heal all of that now through all quantum fields. We're open to receive for best and highest well-being. With love and gratitude, we choose this. So I choose this and breathe. And we're going to take a good etheric breath. So a breath from the ethers. Just fire up these changes. And you can do an extra etheric breath for anybody who needs it. So we can just send it out to those in need. And if you feel lightheaded, please connect me to my insides of my feet now. Knowing that we've upgraded our feet, so as we connect down to the insides of our feet, we have all the frequencies we need to calm and soothe ourselves and to access that space of truth. And if you need a little extra love, please trigger that vagus nerve now. Please trigger my vagus nerve now. Whee! Feels good. All right. So please notice how you felt in the beginning when I was talking about these things compared to now that we've done the healing, we've done the cleanse and the healing, and note the importance of the healings. Way to go doing healings for yourself and for your ancestral lineage and the human collective. That's awesome and amazing. If you have any suggestions for future videos, leave them below. If there's something that this video triggered in you or something you want to share, please leave it below. Also for the community to share. Please ring that bell and you'll get all of the videos into the future. May you all find the peace that you're looking for. Peace be with us all. And peace is something you gift yourself by alchemizing and loving yourself into wholeness, grounding into yourself, giving yourself safety and love when you need it the most. So may you find that peace that you're looking for, and may our peace spread out to the earth, to this universe. And lots of love from me until next time, and from Evie too. Have a great day.